Hey everyone, I hope you're having a wonderful weekend. Welcome to my channel. I just wanted to give a great big shout out to the anonymous crew member who sent me this beautiful Seasons of the Witch Mabon Oracle. Maybe some of you know, maybe others are unaware, but I have linked down below in the description box Tarot and Oracle Amazon wishlist. I have some other elements there as well that have nothing to do with Tarot and Oracle decks, but I get so happy when you guys send me an item from my magic wish list, and I also use it to create a free reading for you. So that's one way in which you can actually book a reading with me if you so desire, and then you will also have contributed to the entire community here because I use these Oracle and Tarot decks, which you can also see behind me. Most of these are gifts from you guys. Yeah, I use them in the readings in which I create for the entire community. So thank you so much for your kind heart, and please go over to Instagram and TikTok and see how I've been using this in 2 fresh readings I created for you guys this weekend. For everyone else, let's get into this subscribers requested pick a card reading. I'm so excited to see what messages come through. Hey crew, welcome to the Spiritual Social. I'm Lexi, your local lightworker. Welcome to a pick a card reading on the topic of how does your family view you in this period? What do your parents think of you, your friends, your relatives, everybody that you might include in your actual family, social, biological, or soul family? Let's explore. So I have here for you a choice of 4 different crystals. For group 1, I have this gorgeous honey calcite crystal. For group 2, I have a selenite stone with the flower of life pattern. For group 3, I have this green jade palm stone. And for group 4, we have this deep red carnelian. Oh, I hope you can see it. It's really scrumptious. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about the energy of these stones at your specific pile. Please feel free to choose more than one in case you have more than one family. You're curious to find out more insights. All of the tarot and oracle cards I'm using in this reading have already been pre-shuffled, so we can dive straight into the messages and waste no time. And you can find them by looking at the details that I posted down below in the comment section and in the description box. Thank you so much for your support. I love you guys. You are wonderful, and I am so enjoying creating all these readings for you. I hope you find them meaningful. I hope they inspire you, and I hope that they bring some clarity into your life. Now, all this being said, let's jump straight into it. How do your parents view you? How does your family think of you in this period? Mwah. Hey group 1, hello darlings, welcome to your reading. Let's find out how your parents, your family views you. So this is for those of you that were drawn to this honey calcite. You're actually in good luck because this is the stone of family harmony. It represents more warmth, more light, more forgiveness entering into your relationships to your relatives. I feel that I should be very clear in your reading that some of you could be thinking here about your soul family. I also am getting some sort of throat chakra blockages. You want to say something to your family, to your parents. Some of you are thinking of coming out in terms of your gender identity, in terms of your sensual preferences, and you find it very heavy on your heart. But a lot of warmth, compassion, and understanding will course through your relationships to your family members. So let's see right now, following from this crystal inside, what do the cards have to say? So first, your tarot cards. We have here the 6 of Cups, the card of nostalgia, family memories, reconnecting with family that you had around you while you were growing up in your neighborhood. I also feel like friends that you might call your family. This is the card of looking at the past and analyzing it in a beautifully sumptuous way, in a way in which you kind of create this mythical story about my life, how it was as I was growing up. We also have here the Seven of Wands. I love this cat. This is the Cook's Tarot. I just absolutely love it. It's so evocative. And of course, the very heady mouse. And we have here a situation in which you're meant to just push through, stay determined, don't give up. I feel like you will do this with a lot of inner confidence and self-assuredness. I also see here the Nine of Swords, some anxiety, some sleepless nights. I do think it's related to what you want to talk or say to your relatives, to your family. You might want to come out and tell them, Mom, Dad, I am gay. And that could be a shock to them, especially if you come from a very traditional or religious background. I feel that some of you might want to give up your studies in order to study something different that your family might not approve of. I feel that others of you need to tell your parents that you have fallen in love or you're considering a relationship with somebody that they don't approve of. Or some of you are going to tell them that you're going to take some action. You're going to maybe quit your job to go 1 year hiking or traveling, and they find that as a source of instability in the family. I feel like the way in which your parents view you is that as a person that's very determined, quite stubborn, but also too much in your head and too anxious. I feel like they also see you as somebody that they love to get in touch with, somebody that they love to reconnect. You are their baby girl, their baby boy, or baby anything in between. I feel like your parents really like to have you around no matter what you might be feeling and thinking of them. They really enjoy having you around. They're really happy to see you. They're happy to have you visit them. And they're happy to kind of treat you like their child. I feel like in their eyes you will always be their little baby. Even though you might think that this kind of attitude infantilizes you, to them this is how they show affection. So I feel like your parents see you as very determined, but at the same time a little bit too much in your head, too filled with anxieties and fears. Wow, yes, hole in the soul. My goodness, this card just packs a punch. They see you as somebody who's struggling to accept herself or himself. I do see here primarily feminine energy. They see you as a person that feels quite empty on the inside. And maybe this is why from time to time you might have almost like these panic attacks, or you might call them from time to time and you might not know exactly what's going on with you, but you're just heaving, or you're really upset, or you're really anxious. Some of you could be sleepwalking, and you might call your mother after such an episode of sleepwalking because you locked yourself outside of your apartment, or a neighbor might have woken you up because they found you on the stairs of your building, or something happened. So I feel like that was a very specific message, but I feel like saying it. I feel like your family, your relatives see you as a person who's trying to engage in a certain behavior to fill a hole in your soul, to give your life purpose and meaning, because oftentimes you come across as somebody who's struggling to find the meaning in life. But I would say, I don't know if you're interested in my opinion, I would say that just trying to find the purpose in life, it's a meaningful endeavor in itself. Just trying to find why life should be lived is helping you live your life with purpose and meaning. I hope that makes sense. Okay, coming back to your folks, how do they see you? They see you as somebody that's trying to recuperate, somebody that's in the process of healing. Maybe you're trying to... I feel that some of you are trying to recover from a breakup. Some of you could have There could be some language differences here. You might work and study in a language that is very different from your culture of origin, from your family and where they live. So there might be a culture shock that you also need to be present with and take into consideration. I feel like some of you, and I'm going to say it, are recovering from an assault. I'm not sure exactly what kind of assault it was because I'm reading here for a large collective. My heart goes out to you if something like this happened. I can understand how painful that could feel, dear God. Please protect group 1. I'm going to burn some white sage for you. For others of you, this is more like a mental health break. You could have studied too much or spend a lot of time isolating yourself from the pleasures of life, from your friends, and as a consequence you went into a burned out period. So now you're recuperating, you're regrouping. Maybe you had to study for an exam in order to graduate, in order to submit an important piece of research or your thesis, and now you're just like collapsing in a positive way, as in you're collapsing into rest, you're collapsing into something that is good for you. So you're healing, you're recuperating, you're taking care of your wounds, whether they are physical or emotional. I can also see here, wow, you got the most animal spirit cards. I see here the octopus. We also have, of course, the phoenix, Scorpio energy, and we have cheetah, solar energy. So your family and friends, your relatives, they see you as somebody that has very poor boundaries, but is also quite loving and easily gets attached to other individuals. They also see you as somebody who's trying to change at the moment, to transform, to step more into your power. They see that an old version of who you were, maybe this person who had very loose boundaries, could have been transformed through whatever problem happened in your life that now needs healing. It's almost like you went through something quite painful and intense. For some of you, this could have been a sexual assault, because we have Phoenix energy here, Scorpio energy, which talks about sexuality. And because of that, it's like you're learning right now how to better protect yourself. You're learning how to read the room, understand people's intentions, especially hidden, covert intentions. You're speeding forward towards a more kind of like a better way of relating to your body and to your environment. I feel like you're going to win at this. You're going to be victorious. Whatever it is that you're healing from, I feel like it's going to be quite important for you, and you will move through this quite fast. The cheetah is the fastest animal on earth, and this is a lot about, you know, picking yourself up and just moving forward, moving ahead, with a lot of courage. Yeah, and I kept like, yeah, flapping it. So this is the energy coming up. Your parents, I feel, want you to move forward with a lot of courage, and they want you to move forward as fast as you can from whatever it is that consumed you, harmed you, and brought you to this dark space. They see that you have the strength, you have it in you to actually achieve that. I just want to send you lots of light, you know, group 1, just lots of light, my love, because I just feel like it's so important. Feel free to put your hands on my hands on the screen. You know, I just feel like it's so important for you, especially since you drew this incredibly warm looking stone. I always see it as it contains a fire inside of it, trapped in this crystal energy. So your oomph, your fire, your passion, they're coming back to you. You're becoming increasingly more like stronger and more powerful. And I feel like your parents see this, your relatives see this, and they support it. So we also have this beautiful image from the Intuition Oracle and this beautiful image. And I want you to kind of like look at them and maybe meditate on them as I interpret the messages for you. So we have here the Seeker and the Romantics. And the affirmation for the Seeker is, I seek new friends and experiences to expand my awareness. And for the Romantics, the affirmation is, I allow romance to touch my heart every day. So a lot of you are reeling from some sort of maybe assault that happened within the confines of a relationship, or you're afraid to start looking for a partner, you're afraid to put yourself out there. I feel like a lot of you suffer as well from maybe having had some problems in your friends group, or not having seen them, or not having any friends, because most of your life this far has only been about success, achievement, study, work. And now I feel like your family, your parents, for some of you it's hard to even say family. I feel like there are members of your family that are missing, where you could have these kind of patchwork families where maybe you don't have one place that you can call your home. It's more like a reconstituted family home where one of your parents remarried somebody else, or you've got a blended family model, or you have a social family and then your biological family is a different story. So I feel like even that aspect is a little bit confusing for you to kind of fall back on with a lot of confidence and stability. But I feel that you are trying to manifest new friends and you're trying to manifest a loving relationship after a period of darkness, after a period of really needing to heal and cope with some trauma that happened here. And your parents, your family, they see this, yeah? You might not even call your parents family, maybe because they have two separate families and it's hard for you to say the word family as including only you and them. It could be that your parents divorced and they remarried and have two separate families, and you get more relatives in this way, which is awesome. But at the same time, I feel like some of you could find it a little bit difficult to actually feel like you have this kind of stable home. And that could be part of the healing process. That could be part of what's going to replenish your hole in the soul and get you out of this Nine of Swords energy. I definitely see for you that your relatives are planning to maybe connect you with somebody that could be very good for you romantically. I also feel that your parents see that you're seeking friendship, you're seeking connection, and they want to help you. They want to maybe invite you for some sort of blind date or set you up with somebody. I feel like your mother especially might have even talked to a tarot reader or some sort of like fortune teller, some sort of individual that does lunar charts in order to find out when would be the best time for you to get married, and if you're going to get married. And I think that for some of you that the gender reveal, or not gender reveal, sorry, the gender identity coming out process is important. That could be also a little bit of a shock related to your parents wanting you to get married. But I'm reading here for a variety of different people. I think that many new subscribers are going to click on this reading wondering what it is. Hi, welcome to the Spiritual Social. I do things quite weird here. It's a little bit off the beaten track. I hope you can enjoy this energy and bear with it. I do make sense. Most of the time I do make sense. But I just feel like in this reading I'm picking up on a lot of shards, a lot of puzzle pieces, and it's kind of like trying to figure out how to pull them all together. Because I feel that there is a lot of trauma, but there is also a lot of love, a lot of affection. And for some reason I keep pulling my shirt down because I don't like to see the crease, and there is a crease that keeps appearing right here around my heart. So something that really hurt you, something that really kind of like stabbed the heart, and I think might have led to this hole in the soul. You might not be aware of the fact that your family sees this. They see that you're suffering. They are not impervious to your pain. They see that you're suffering. They see that you're trying to be in your mind, trying to interpret and analyze what has happened. And you see, even in this card, you see she's like here with her head on the table, and there's the specter of this dark, shadowy figure kind of looming above her. This definitely something happened here. It might not have been like a full-blown assault, but there is something really, really dark that happened here that put you, group one, into this octopus energy, sinking deep in the bottom of the sea where it's cold and dark, and it's kind of like you're struggling to find your light. But you will regain it, and your family sees that. Your family sees how determined you are to overcome any obstacle and to fight away the negativity. The crows are also a symbol for Hecate, which is the goddess, who is the goddess of magic. And she also represents the tripartite nature of the goddess of witchcraft, which is the mother, maiden, crone. And I feel like whatever you've been through could have been almost similar to a descent into the underworld, much like what happened to goddess Persephone when she was kidnapped and taken into the underworld. But then she managed to come out to the surface, regain her strength, see her mother Demeter, and explain to her what has happened, that now she's married to the god of the underworld, Hades. Actually, Persephone in Greek means the ruler of the underworld. So it's in her name. It's almost like her name was her faith. And that's one part of the story that is not so well known or so well distributed. But I feel like you're going through a phenomenal transformation right now, and please don't allow whatever has happened to you, however painful it was, don't allow it to destroy you. Move quickly through this, or as quickly as you can, because you will be victorious. You will reach a point of light confidence. You will have healed your sacral chakra, your solar plexus, your confidence, your capacity to trust other people and to be intimate will be healed. And I feel like your family members are by your side. They want to see you surrounded by friends. They want to see you in a loving connection where you are respected and adored. And I feel that they will go to great lengths to help you achieve that, no matter what you tell them. Because I'm picking up here for you, group 1, there's a lot of fear regarding you showing your parents who you really are, or talking to them about who you really are. But I think it's going to be well worth it to try. You chose the warmest crystal in this entire reading. So trust that whatever you have to say will be met with love, compassion, and kindness. I wish you so much good luck. Thank you for listening. Comment down below and let me know what you thought. If you enjoyed this reading, like it as well, please, because this helps distribute this reading to many other people who might benefit from this message. And I cannot wait to see you next time. Take care. Hey, group 2. Hello, darlings. Welcome to a pick a card reading on the topic of how do your parents, how does your family view you? So this is for those of you that were drawn to the selenite. A selenite is such a gorgeously calm crystal. It tends to reflect energy back at you rather than basically infuse you with its energy. It's a crystal that has a lot of like absorbing properties. So I tend to wear it by my side when I sleep because it tends to absorb negative energies and reflect back to me the mirror of my own shadow. So I feel that those of you who are drawn to this, and also I need to tell you a very small brief story about this. This is a stone that if you put in water, it tends to crack and dissolve, so you should never put selenite in water. And I foolishly put it inside of my I have this jumpsuit and I was carrying it with me one day. I came home, I put my jumpsuit completely in the washing machine because it got stained, and I forgot that I had this stone with me. And I could hear it in the tumbler as the machine was washing it. I could hear it going clink, clank, clink, clank. And I thought it's going to be destroyed, you know, I will have a destroyed piece of selenite. But it came out of the 40 minutes long washing cycle looking exactly like it did when it went in. It's such a powerful and resilient stone. And I'm not sure if because my jumpsuit was made of silk and potentially the silk, the material could have protected it as it was placed inside its pocket, but nothing ever happened to me. I usually break crystals quite often, but this baby stayed strong. So there's something here about you being perceived as a very soft but yet strong, unbreakable kind of individual. You could have very babyish features, or maybe you're very angelic looking. There's something quite pure about you, but people around you see how incredibly boss-like you are with most of the things that are happening in your life. You're not allowing anybody to walk over you. And I think that as a person who is quite soft and vulnerable and emotional, living in modern day society, well, that requires a lot of strength to be able to still maintain softness and purity in a world that constantly pushes you towards the other extreme. Well, that requires a lot of courage and strength. And I feel like your family and your relatives see that. So let's see right now what the cards have to say. Oh, your family loves you. Your family sees you as a wonder child. They think that you are the bee's knees, yeah? So they love you, they respect you, they are treating you like your age. They are not overly babying you or mollycoddling you, but neither are they too neglectful of you. I feel like both parents tend to talk to you on the same level, or you get as much FaceTime with your mother as you get with your father if they are still alive. I see here that other members of the family come to you for advice, but you also are able to ask them for advice. So I see some very balanced relationships here. You could have some really memorable times making beverages with your mother, with your father, having some, having a cup of tea, a cup of coffee. Maybe you really enjoyed that. Maybe visiting your parents once a week or once a month for coffee, tea, and biscuits, or something of that nature. I see here Leo energy. You see this mat with a lion on it. So maybe you are Leo, which makes you very radiant and very attractive, but it also gives you this very strong energy. So we also have here the Seven of Cups. I'm laughing because group 1 got the Seven of Wands, I think. So we see a pattern 7-7, which means that this reading is protected. And that's just laughing at the fact that I'm very happy that Spirit is present here, because lately it's been quite hard to access spiritual energy and you have to put more effort in it, as I'm filming this under a Saturn and Pisces sky. Anyway, coming back to your own energy. So Seven of Cups talks about an idealist, a person that tends to be quite romantic, tends to see the world through rose-colored glasses. So your family sees you in this way. They see you as a person who's ready, willing, and able to wear her heart or his heart on their sleeve. You're also very sweet, you're very loving, very I think that you give people a lot of compliments, and you tend to look at them in this kind of idealized glow. You could put a lot of people on pedestals. I also see here, I think this is the habit of cracking a glass in a Jewish ceremony, because you see here he's wearing the kippah, and I forgot how this shawl is called, but I think that this is what you do at a Jewish wedding for good luck. You break a glass that is wrapped in some sort of material, but maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know, you guys, if you're Jewish, let me know down in the comments if you guys do this at weddings or for other celebrations like bar mitzvahs, for example. But maybe you are Jewish, maybe you come from a Jewish family, and I feel that every time when you go home, they treat you to a lot of food. I feel like food, drinks, beverages are so important. It could be that your family actually owns some sort of shop or grocery store or bakery or coffee place, and it's like whenever you go back home, you tend to help with the family business, or you tend to partake in the fruits of that family business. So your family sees you as a romantic, as an idealist, also as a spiritual person. So if you're doing any astrological work, if you're doing any tarot work, if you're studying divinity in an academic setting, I feel like your parents see that you have this inclination, this propensity towards spending time in solitude, prayer, connecting with spirit, being more immaterial and otherworldly rather than pragmatic. Oh wow, all the sevens. Like tonight it's like winning the jackpot. So we have the Seven of Swords. This is not such a good card. Your family could sometimes feel that you are lying to them. They could feel that you might be walking away every time you visit them. You might take something from them and you haven't asked for permission. Maybe you take money from their wallet, or you take some objects from the house, and your parents would really like you to ask them before you take. Because I think especially your mother is frustrated by the fact that she puts things in a certain place, but then she looks at it and she realizes it's not there, and it really messes with her mind. You could have a mother that really enjoys organization, administration, maybe she has some Virgo placements, and it really sets her off when things are not in order. So just to show your appreciation towards her and her work, and to respect her boundaries, it would be great if you were to just tell your family members, especially your mother figure, to look mom, I'm taking these boots with me, okay? Or look mom, I'm borrowing this, I don't know, broom. Look mom, I need $100, or I don't know, 50 rupees, or whatever currency you have in your country. So it's super important to come across with more clarity in your relations to your family and friends, and kind of like try to mitigate the negative aspect that they see you as being a person that's a little bit treacherous, that is not always to be trusted, that could be lying, low-key lying to them, It could be that in the past you had personal connections with people that they didn't appreciate, and you might have lied to them about your girlfriends or boyfriends as well. And it kind of set a precedent, you know. We have here the Page of Wands. So this talks about having a lot of enthusiasm, having a lot of energy. I feel like your family sees you as somebody that has a lot of desire to do many things, but you might spread yourself quite thinly. So let's say you begin something and then you feel super excited halfway through the first thing that you began, and you begin something else. You might, for example, start on a study course, and then 2 months into it you want to change your major, or you want to relocate to another university. I feel that your family sees you as dynamic, but also far too impulsive. Like, it would be better if you wouldn't fly so quickly into an emotional rage. It would be better for them as well if they would know your actions beforehand, if you were to be a little bit more planned, or to plan ahead so that they know what to expect. Because I think that they've gotten accustomed with you as being quite like a person that changes plans overnight and does this and that and that. And I feel like I don't want to make it sound like it's some sort of criticism, but I feel like your family could think that you're a little bit exhausting sometimes. It's like, calm down, okay? You're doing too much. Just calm down, my love. Have a cup of coffee, you know, we love you. You don't actually have to do so many things all the time, you know, like simmer down a little bit. Okay, so let's see. Healing. Wow, what's happening, guys? So I see a lot of healing. Group 1 had this as well. Maybe you're sliding from group 1 into this reading as well. I sometimes do that with other tarot readers. When I have to deep clean my flat, I just put a reading, I pick a card, you know, one of the choices, and then I just allow the whole video to pull through. This happens to me frequently with Alice Vision's Love Exists. I really like her. So we have here Anima Mundi. This is so nice. And healing. It's like you're healing your heart from some sort of disappointment. It could be that your way of dealing with disappointment could be not to tell other people that you're sad, not to actually cry in front of other people, but it could be that you're just trying to do something. And that's why there might be a lot of activity or activities that you engage in, because you're trying to run away from a feeling. You're a very warm, loving, passionate person. With Anima Mundi, it's like you're a generator of love. People just are naturally attracted to you. And I'm kind of picking up on that Leo vibe again, yeah? So you're very loving, you're creating love around you, you're giving love, you're receiving love. There's a lot of adoration and admiration around you. But at the same time, it's almost like at the moment your family sees that you've gone a little bit solo, you've retreated because you're healing from something or somebody that might have broken your heart. I'm filming this reading under a sky where we currently have Venus in Leo. Venus has been with Mars in Leo, and Venus is about to go retrograde for 40 days, and it will conjoin the Sun and also Mercury. So there's a lot of like reevaluation, you're like reevaluating, reanalyzing, reconsidering your personal connections. There is a certain heaviness here. There is a certain heaviness, and I'm so drawn, as the more I look at these cards, I'm so drawn to, there's a woman in a cup. She looks like she's struggling. I also see here they're baking cookies that are shaped like angels or crosses. It's almost like you're going through a period where you're asking God, where are you? Where are you? Why did this happen? I thought I was protected. I thought I was blessed. So something really might have disappointed you. Let's see, because we have other cards here. I'm so curious. Oh, we have the wolf. And the wolf talks about somebody that is very stable, very determined, but this could also talk about somebody who is heavy-handed and dogmatic and could have judged you very strongly. I feel that something that has to do with religion here. It's kind of like you have a problem with religious morals, religious norms. It could have been that somebody in the religious community might have shamed you, and you're wondering, why is this happening? Because I have done nothing wrong. All I did was love God, love other people. Why am I being shamed? It could be because of some sort of sensual aspect. Maybe you're being unfairly criticized. You know, you're being unfairly castigated as a treacherous woman. It's a Mary Magdalene kind of vibe, you know. Maybe somebody is actually criticizing your romantic choices, the looseness with which you begin or end romantic connections. So I feel like this wolf talks here about very stern individual. It could even be a father figure that sees you as, if you're not married, you are amoral. You cannot have relations with men outside of marriage. And maybe you're trying to live in a more modern, independent way. I feel like other female relatives in your family don't really care, but there is here a very strong male presence, a man with authority, a father figure. The wolf, the bear, the elk. They represent paternalistic images. And I feel like this person, maybe you had a clash with them. Some of you could actually come from a family where your father has some sort of priest role or has a religious function, and they are criticizing you because they don't want your actions and behaviors to fall poorly on their professional role. But I see here with the swan that your family sees you as a very elegant, very loyal, very dedicated and committed individual. I feel that all of them are just rooting for you to be together with somebody who is at your level, who loves you as much as they love you. Yeah, because we started out very strongly with the Two of Cups. Your family really loves you, but I think that because they love you so much, they sometimes can be quite harsh with you or controlling. First of all, because they want to protect you, and second of all, because a parent that really loves you also tells you uncomfortable truths from time to time, not in a way in which they insult you and belittle you and are just being mean with you, because some parents are just being cruel and mean with their children. But sometimes a parent would say, you know, you're being far too idealistic in this situation, be careful, because you could run into problems, you know, or it might be better for you to make a different decision, because if you go down that path, you're going to end up, you know, doing this and this and that, and that will be very painful to watch you through. So I feel like this might be the case here. Your parents see how talented you are, how elegant, how unique, and they want to see you in a loving, long-term commitment. They want to see you married. They want to see you with a ring on it. And maybe some of you are of the marrying age and you feel a lot of pressure being placed upon you. It could be that this healing is related to, why haven't I found yet a compatible partner? And this might be why you need to go through a period of reevaluation, reconsideration. I also feel that there could be something here about healing, if you're a woman, especially healing your womb, healing yourself on a gynecological level. There might have been some problems with your hormones. And why am I saying this? Because selenite is lunar energy, the moon. And the moon talks about fertility problems. It talks about emotions and how they affect the body, feminine cycles, menstruation, and menopause. So there could be some sort of issues there regarding that. And you're trying to heal from that. Your parents see that, and most of all, I just want you to understand that they support you. They really support you. But of course, like in all families, things are not always perfect and peachy, and you have this very strong wolf-like energy, a father figure that protects you, but at the same time expects you to behave in a certain way that is kind of upholding a certain moral code. And then the final card that I have for you, the Initiator. Take a moment to meditate on this card, this beautiful intuitive image from the Intuition Oracle. The affirmation is, I overcome resistance and do what must be done now. There you go. I couldn't have said it better. Your family wants you to do what is right, to follow custom and tradition. Maybe you're reaching a certain point in your life where you need to undertake a ritual. You need to show up and take on the family business. You need to get married and be part of the community. And you are trying to escape that. However, I feel that it would be for your own benefit if you were to do that. I feel like with the initiator, you have a very strong chance of becoming not only more integrated within your family and the community's life, but becoming its leader, its moral leader. And you are able to do quite progressive things once you accept the traditional mold that has been created for you. So you can change the structure from within rather than from outside, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. This is the reading that I had for you, Group 2. Thank you so much for listening. Please smash that like button if you enjoy this reading. Comment down below and let me know what are your experiences. And also, take very good care of yourself. I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Ciao. Hey Group 3, hello darlings. Welcome to a pick a card reading on the topic of how do your parents view you? How does your family see you in this period? So this is for those of you that were drawn to this gorgeously green, lush, I love it so much, this fresh looking jade. Jade is the stone of wealth, prosperity, good luck. So all of these aspects could figure prominently in the relationship that you have with your family. You could come from a wealthy family. Your family could be the one that secures you financially. They bring you a lot of good luck. I feel like money, property, financial aspects could be some aspects that are heavily embedded or heavily describe your connection to your relatives. I also feel like some of you are going through a period right now where you're kind of trying to reconfigure your values and try to see whether you may have values that are very different from the ones with which you grew up with. Let's see, so what cards did you get? Your tarot cards are, we have here the Ten of Pentacles, exactly what I was saying, having it all, coming from a wealthy family. Your family also see you as somebody who is creating wealth on your own, irrespective of the help that they could give you. You are strongly focused on manifestation and the manifestation of material gifts and money in this period. You've got your eyes on the prize. You're doing really well in your professional goals. You're achieving a lot. You're earning a lot. You could have been recently promoted. You could have recently graduated and maybe you secured a job really quickly afterwards. Your family sees you as successful. They see you as wealthy. A person who works with the law of prosperity to manifest a lot of material aspects. Maybe you are aiming to buy a home, or you recently purchased your own home, you bought a really expensive car, or you're looking into some sort of like ways in which you can improve your life, make it better, streamline it, and you need some resources, you need some financial resources, and you're putting those to good use. Your family is also wanting to let you know that they're there for you to support you financially if that, if need be, if the situation shows up. I see that we have the mother goose. Your mother could especially be the one that is helping you in this capacity. I feel like she could be the one supplying you with the finances or managing the family money. And I also feel like things between you and your parents have been relatively stable and calm, but they might not have been so emotional. I am getting a lot of emotional restraint, a lot of emotional control between you and your family members. Page of Pentacles. Money, 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 da-da. So it could be that you talk a lot to your parents about money, or that your parents are very heavily interested in how much are you earning. Are you very focused on paying rent? Are you focused on saving up money? Are you doing well? Are you not overspending? Are you underspending? Are you investing the surplus money you're making, your savings, into something lucrative that will yield further income? It could be that you guys work in a profession like a bank, or you work as an accountant, or you are managing some properties that your parents have been buying. You know, maybe you purchased your own property, or you're looking into doing that. It could be that you're trying to open a restaurant or a shop, or trying to provide people with goods, necessary goods or luxury goods. It's a very pragmatic relationship. It's very stable. It's very wealth producing. Your parents see you as being a little bit inexperienced in terms of money. And I feel like this is why maybe you might be talking to them a lot about money, because they want to give you advice. They want to give you counsel. I am getting a slow itch in my eye. It could be that oftentimes these conversations that you have about money could feel a little bit dry and soulless, and you're wondering whether you are just a possession to your parents, whether they see you in the same way in which they see the goods that they acquire and the money that they invest. So yeah, I feel that your parents really want you to save up, and they're quite concerned about your capacity to create a wealthy life for yourself. They want to help you with that, but they also are going to be critical with you regarding how are you achieving that goal. We have here the moon. So the relationship with the mother seems to be the most prominent one. The mother could be the center of the family. Maybe you were brought up by a single mother, and she is very strongly focused on how much money you're earning, whether you can support yourself independently. I feel like your mother really wants you to like she is the point of wealth. She's the creator of wealth. With the mother goose here, you see the goose with the golden eggs, just like in the story. We have the piggy bank here, right? And we have here Cancerian energy, the crab, the moon howling, the wolf howling at the moon. We have the cactus. So yeah, a bit of a prickly energy, a bit of a competitiveness. Yeah, I'm picking up. I just wanted to make sure that was the correct energy. It could be that your parents are kind of competing with you, who makes the most money, or if you buy something, they want to buy something very similar to kind of one-up you. What? This is weird. This is very strange behavior. Why would the parent do that? But I see here also a mother figure that kind of tends to be a little bit controlling, that doesn't want to let you go, wants to be involved in your affairs, and could use money as a way to keep you connected to her. Like, for example, here's the sum of money that you did not ask for. And how is your personal life? Are you still seeing that person? Here's more money. Tell me more. You know, kind of like that. So wanting to find out some personal, intimate information from you regarding your private life, while giving you gifts, while paying you, while giving you maybe financial bonds, or helping you invest your money, or just making sure that you have food to eat and you're buying good clothes. So it's not really that bad intentioned. I don't see it in this way, but it is a little bit suffocating, I would say. I also see Piscean energy. So it could be that your mother is giving you some tips regarding whatever it is that you are trying to break into. It could be that your mother is a performer, an actress, a singer, a creative person, an artist, and you're trying to also become one of those things. And through her experience, she's trying to guide you. So we have here, pay attention to the signs. I feel like your family, especially your mother, wants you to really be mindful of how people could take advantage of you. You need to start seeing the people around you also for the nastier versions of themselves that they might be, not only to attribute to people around you only good intentions. I feel that your mother especially is very focused on you paying attention to red flags in a connection with somebody that you might be involved romantically in this period. I feel that your mother, again, relatives, family, are unanimously in agreement with the fact that you should be more focused on work, study, money, rather than love and relationships at the moment. And they would like you to keep walking the straight path rather than go towards the graveyard. So they are I think your family is also worried that you might engage in an addiction, that you might lose money on gambling, drugs, alcohol, because of your involvement with a person that could be very dark and might influence you in a negative way. I kind of trust you more than that, group 3. It's kind of like your parents, and especially your mother, kind of see you as a vulnerable child still, but I feel like you know what you're doing, even when you might not be so aware of what you're doing. But I feel like you've got a good head on your shoulders. It's just that I feel like your family, and especially your mother, the mother comes very strongly through your reading. She would like you to be very attentive to how you spend money in your personal connections, to save up your money and to not be reckless with it, okay? To not buy large, extravagant gifts for a man you have just met 2 weeks ago, because it could end up that he is a romantic swindler, yeah? We also have here, oh, the bear. That's so funny because it's kind of like I'm manifesting these cards and my crown chakra has started itching right now. So it's kind of like receiving a straight download. Jesus. Okay, I'm gonna start scratching my head, but it is a little bit itchy. I just washed my hair. That's so weird. Anyway, so we have here the bear, a very strong father figure, but also somebody quite morose. I feel like this is also your energy. I'm kind of picking up on the fact that your parents might be divorced and maybe your father is not so, for most of you, and maybe your father is not so involved in your everyday affairs, or if your mother and your father are still connected, your father tends to be quite reclusive, quite solitary, doesn't want to be involved in relations, and has delegated the responsibility of parenting to your mother. That's why the mother's energy is so strong and so prominent, while the father seems to be kind of like minding his own business in the background, playing his games, earning money for the family, not really willing or wanting to engage in conversations or mentoring or guiding you and maybe whatever siblings you have. He seems like quite a depressed individual, or a person that is just okay with just doing their own thing, you know, kind of detached from the family life. And in most cases, I feel like this is a separation. Your father no longer lives with you, and it's just going through a period at the moment. And I feel like your mother and other relatives see you a little bit in this kind of energy, like you're almost taking after your father figure in this period, or increasingly so as you age, that you're also wanting to isolate yourself, that you can also be a little bit grumpy and slow to finish, slow to start on certain projects, that you need more vigor and more energy and stamina to earn your own money. Whoa! Oh, yeah, there could be a big fear here regarding you going down a path that would lead to you losing your income, losing a job, and no longer manifesting wealth. So I feel that this is predominantly your mother's worry for you. But I just feel like you're recuperating your energy. You could have been you could have been going through an energetic upgrade. Things that you used to do are no longer working because you're transitioning, you're changing into a different animal. Yeah. The bear is a very vigorous, strong animal, but it hibernates. Yeah. It hibernates throughout the entirety of autumn and winter. So it's kind of like you waking up from a very long slumber and feeling quite ravenous and kind of coming into your power again. And your parents see that. It's just that it's a slow build up to your full strength. The self, you're learning so much about who you are. I feel like your family sometimes wonders whether you've got very clear objectives, whether you know who you are, whether you know what you want to do, whether you know what you're good at, whether you're aware about your shortcomings. I feel like you're trying to individuate, you're trying to become your own person, to figure things out, to understand what you like and what you don't like outside of what your parents might want for you. And that's a very difficult process, because I feel like your mother is kind of like very, you know, grabbing you and not wanting to let you go. You're still her little baby, but she could also infantilize you and criticize you for not being a very determined and very clear individual. While your father, I feel, could give you certain traits from his character. There is a propensity here towards indolence and kind of absorbing things rather than producing them. But there's also a lot of strength, a lot of power. You could be physically very strong and tall and imposing, and your father could be similarly in this way. But I feel like, much like your father, there's a lot of untapped creative potential which you will have the chance in this incarnation to tap into and to radiate outwards. So if your father, for example, is a failed artist or just a weekend spiritualist, or has a hobby of something that, I don't know, they wanted to become a film producer, but now they're just watching films at weekends, you have the chance to take whatever talent your father passed on to you and put it out there. You can create your own YouTube channel, you can become a local celebrity. You radiate this light and vigor and force, increasingly so the older you grow. And then we also have here the Uniter. Feel free to meditate on this card. It's one of the cards from the Intuition Oracle, and they work as tiny colorful meditations. So the Uniter is the way in which your family sees you, as somebody that brings people together. Yeah, you could be one of those children that went through a divorce while you were growing up, and you could constantly try to bring your mother and your father together to get them to stop arguing, to negotiate things for them. And I feel this is giving you some really important people skills. It's helping you become a great diplomat, a great negotiator. So try to see the situation in your family not as something that you've been cursed with or punished by the divine with, but as an opportunity for you to develop these wonderful people skills. Coming back to this card, the affirmation is, I know love has come to unite me with my beloved. I feel like in this period, your parents are seeing how you're trying to heal whatever you grew up witnessing in your home between your mother and your father. It could be that you're going to therapy in order to really unite parts of yourself that might have been shattered due to you witnessing a lot of family discord, especially if your parents divorced. I feel that there could have been some arguments, maybe even some low-key domestic violence between your mother and your father, a lot of home displacement and relocations, and that kind of splintered you. And now in this period, you're coming back to the pearl in your soul. You're healing because you are ready to fall in love as well. And I feel like you're very intent on having a relationship that is quite different from the one that your parents had, in which you're trying not to repeat the same mistake. You're trying to be aware and conscious so that you can grow and learn and just progress forward, you know. This is the reading that I had for you. I think I'm just going to end it here. Group 3, thank you so much for listening. Please hit that smash, whatever, you know, like just flip that. Oh God, I'm so bad at saying these things. That's why I prefer to just put like banners. Hit the like button, please. That's what I've been trying to say. I feel a little bit exhausted after the reading. Sorry about this. Comment down below and let me know. Is this resonating in any way? Are you actually a child of divorce? How did that experience impact you? I'm really curious to read your comments, and they do care for me. Help me give you a heart and an acknowledgement down in the comment section below. And I cannot wait to see you next time. Take great care of your heart, and I promise that next time I will have a better outro for you. Oh my God. Ciao. Hey group 4, welcome to a pick a card reading on the topic of how does your family, how do your parents view you in this period? So this is for those of you that were drawn to the carnelian stone. So a very loyal energy, very hardworking, very concentrated, quite vital. This is the energy of the circulatory system, and without it, well, we wouldn't be able to exist, right? Without the blood running through our veins. This is also the energy of iron, the color of iron, the iron that we have as an element in our body, and that sustains our life force and also makes us magnetically attractive. It is also the energy of being quite grounded, quite stable, quite earthy. So your parents see you embodying these characteristics at the moment. You're a person who's very committed, very loyal, a little bit intense at times in order to achieve all of the goals that you want, kind of like an ambitious type A personality. But they also see you as somebody who's looking for a long-term commitment. Yeah, exactly. So you're looking for somebody to touch your heart, much like my cat Sol is touching my heart at the moment. Yes. Okay, there we go. So let's see the cards that you got. I'm going to begin with your tarot cards first. Oh, the Star. Wow. So your family has a lot of hopes that you will make it big as somebody important in society. Maybe they actually raised you with an understanding that you have a lot of skills, a lot of natural talents. You could be very beautiful. You might want to perform. You are training yourself. Maybe you're going to acting classes or singing, dancing lessons. Maybe you're training yourself to play a certain instrument, like a piano or a guitar. And your family wants to see you on stage. They want to see you radiate light. They want to see fans flocking at your door and you being successful. They want to see you on television and the radio, on social media, as somebody who has made it in their family, as somebody who's a low-key celebrity. So they see you as somebody that was also a hope for the future. Yeah, I mean, as a child, you are the family's hope of continuation. And they also see you as being, I'm going to say it, they see you as being a little bit of a diva, you know, from time to time. Star energy is Aquarius energy, so they see you as being quite open-minded and quite progressive. But sometimes you might be putting your fingers in all the wrong pots. So it's kind of like you could be a little bit more restrained. I see here the Three of Wands. Yeah, your family sees you as a trendsetter. Maybe you earn money at the moment by looking good and traveling and showing people places and teaching them about your travel experiences. The Three of Wands can also be understood not only through physical travel, but also by being an explorer of darker topics. Maybe you're into crime thrillers or murder mysteries. I feel like you could have the lifestyle of a technological nomad. The Star here, Aquarius energy, is about the World Wide Web. It's about communicating with family members through technology, by FaceTiming each other, by WhatsApping one another, by Skyping people, because you can't be physically close to them, but you want to talk to them. So it could be that this is how your family, your parents have access to you. It could be technologically mediated. Maybe you live and you work in a completely different country than the one in which you were born in, or the one in which your family is currently settled in. I also had to open the window for your reading because I wanted more air to come into the room. It was getting quite hot. So you could be a person that wants to keep things cool and controlled. You might like your space and claim it. And you really enjoy your freedom and your independence, and your family sees you in this way. I also see the Two of Pentacles. Your family sees you working 2 jobs at the same time, or juggling many different things at the same time. Maybe you have a lot of... Wow, my throat completely dried up in that second. It could be that somebody's trying to silence you in this period and your parents are seeing this. It could be that somebody might want to engage you in a lawsuit, might steal some ideas from you, might put words in your mouth, words that you haven't actually said in an attempt to discredit you. But your parents see that you've been juggling a lot of different things at the same time, trying to multitask, and that it will come a point when you will have to make a decision, because this is not a sustainable situation for the future. It does require a lot of skill in order to entertain 2 different things at the same time. Wow. I kind of ran out of my aloe vera juice. Yeah, there's definitely a big block for you. Group 4, what's happening here? Who's trying to silence you? Or maybe you are tired of me speaking and you want me to shut up. I don't know what's happening here. I hope this is not the negative energy, but I'm going to cleanse the space nonetheless. So you might need to work with a spiritual healer in this period, with an energy master, a Reiki healer. You might need to get your chart read, and especially your transits analyzed, because there's some negativity being thrown your way, to the point where I'm really struggling to speak in your reading. And I don't understand why, because the flow was so good with all the other 3 groups. It could be just actually putting forth the fact that, yeah, you are indeed somehow blocked by circumstances. But I'm going to push through, and I'm not going to give up on your reading, because you need to hear these messages and you're here, and I really value your time and your energy and your presence. So, judgment. It could be that many people are judging you, and this could be what's silencing you. This could be what's kind of making you not want to speak up, want to retreat. Judgment also talks about a very big transformation. You might have been sick. Maybe you're actually recovering from a sickness at the moment. Maybe you had COVID, or you had some problems speaking. You might find that I'm speaking a bit too fast and I should slow down. Maybe that's another key ingredient here. But the Judgment card talks about coming back from the dead, being gone for a period of time, and then all of a sudden having this really bright, effulgent moment in which you come back with full force and energy towards doing the things that you were doing. And I think that you're in the spotlight. I think that people really enjoy seeing you. I think you could be a performer, you could be a content creator, a social media artist. You are a person that people think of and they want to celebrate. People like to hang out with you. They enjoy spending time with you, yeah? I also feel that you're a person that could win a lot of accolades as well, and a lot of awards or experiences or gifts or financial things. So let's see. Have faith, number 22. Yeah, I feel like something happened to you, a setback in your career, because you have this absolutely gorgeous energy, and it could be that some people were trying to kind of like, you know, munch off of it, and that's why you might have been feeling drained and depleted, and maybe you got physically sick. You had to slow down. But I see very clearly here that it's just a period. You will overcome whatever problems you're going through. Your family sees that you're struggling and they want to help, yeah? I feel like your family could also be sending you some sort of Christian texts, or giving you Bible verses, or maybe sending you some inspiring quotes to try to keep you on track, you know, to try to keep you having faith and maintaining whatever it is that you're doing, because you're making them happy as well, not only the people that you're entertaining. Yeah, something happened here, because the earthworm talks about a person that was incredibly colorful that went within. A person that, you know how earthworms, they live underground most of the time and we don't see them, but every time it rains, the earth is soaked with water and it pushes the earthworms out so that they don't drown. And then we suddenly see earthworms everywhere. So it could be that a situation made you feel quite vulnerable, pushed you out of your comfort zone. Some of you might have lost your home due to some sort of problems, maybe a flooding, maybe some sort of political coup, or maybe a fire. I feel like there was some sort of natural disaster that kind of made you relocate or go away from the place where you felt quite rooted within. Maybe it was an earthquake as well. And now you're going within. You decided to be a bit more reclusive, yeah, to retreat, to not be so open with your energy and so forthcoming. And your parents see that, and I feel like they would like to tell you, you can always feel safe when you come to us. They have this holding space for you. They have created this environment in the home in which you grew up, but I don't think that you might call it a home. For you, home is where you put your bags down. Home is a place deep within you where you feel nurtured and you have a strong connection to the divine. But maybe recently you haven't been feeling this because for some reason you weren't able to travel, you were blocked, you were restricted, and I feel a disease, an injury could have contributed to you not being able to travel and to move. And you're like trying to keep the faith, trying to connect with spirit, trying to find motivational quotes and actions that keep you inspired and keep you going each day. But it is an effort. The mother. I also feel like some of you are ready to become parents, and your own mother would like you to make her grandmother. I feel like maybe some of you just found out you're pregnant and you need to get in touch with your mother, and she's more than willing to help you. There is the energy here of you mothering other people, maybe like you would have liked to be mothered by your own parent. It's a very nest-like energy, very strong fourth house energy. We have the earthworm round, we have the mother round, yeah? So things are being set into motion inside of you. Your emotions, you're cleansing them, you're purging the past, you're healing from a mother wound. You're maybe even by mothering other people, by taking care of them, you're learning how to take better care of yourself, and you're learning how to kind of plan ahead in the eventuality you might want to become a mother yourself or a parent yourself, yeah? But the mother is really important here, healing certain wounds of vulnerability in relation to her, and kind of having faith that you will be able to have a family. Number 22 is the Grandmaster number of union. So having faith that you will come together with your beloved and you will become a parent and you will be able to mother life, yeah? You will be able to bring a child into being. And I feel like falling back on the relationship to your own mother and cleaning and cleansing and working through certain aspects that happened there in relation to her is going to be deeply satisfying to your soul in this period, and it will help you become a better parent, a wiser person, more accepting and loving. And you see, like, already the problems that I had with my throat have cleared up, and I feel like I'm speaking with more compassion. There is an emotional block. Your family has seen you be so emotionally controlled throughout your life, and maybe a lot of the arguments you had with your mother or with your relatives stemmed from the fact that you were too controlling in your emotions. You didn't show people that some things hurt you. You didn't show them that it's not okay for them to treat you in this way, that you are actually very happy that they did or say something for you, that you are actually very upset. It's kind of like you kept everything inside and you preferred to dissociate and detach and run away with your feelings and be someplace else where you can generally feel them. But now I feel that whatever happened in your life made you had a bit of a crisis of faith, made you go within, and now you're dealing with these feelings, you're dealing with these emotions, and I see a tiny fly on my wall. So it's kind of like you're working through the wound of perfectionism. Why do you feel the need to be so perfect? Why do you feel the need to not accept certain parts of yourself that are dying to be loved? You're doing a lot of shadow work, a lot of like emotional work, and your mother is so important. Your relationship to her is so important in this period. I feel like you can get in touch with her, you can get in contact with her as well. She has some really important things to tell you, even if you might feel that she's judging you or criticizing you unfairly. She's actually on your side, and she's telling you certain things because she wants to help you. That's her way of loving you. I know, as weird as it might sound. So here are your intuitive oracle cards. You can meditate on these images. You got 3 of them, so I hope that I'll have enough fingers to hold them. And as you look at them and meditate on these images, I'm going to read you what it says on the back. So the warrior, as in a person who worries, not as in somebody who goes to war, the dreamer, and the confident. And the affirmations are: I can handle whatever life brings to me. I pay attention to what my dreams are trying to tell me. And I honor all I have done to make me who I am today. So you're healing from shame. You're healing from being seen in a way in which you could have thought it brings a lot of disgrace to your family. Maybe something happened to you in your childhood and you never told your parents, but you lived with the shame and it negatively affected your relationship to your mother. You felt like you couldn't talk to your mother about what happened. Your mother felt like you were a difficult child to love, and it brought a lot of pain. You struggled with the mother figure throughout your life. And now it's time for healing. Now it's time for you to heal this, and your mother is also ready and willing and able to help you with whatever it is that you're struggling with at the moment. And for some of you, this is a crisis of faith. For others of you, it could be an unplanned pregnancy. For others of you, it could be that you took on too much, you injured yourself, and now you need your mother's care. I would say ask for it. I would say ask for it. You will not regret it. Look at the strong feminine energies at play in your life at the moment. You are becoming more feminine. You are allowing yourself to forgive your mother. You are getting more in touch with your feelings, and this is going to attract a true love towards you because you're opening up your heart. You're no longer allowing hurt to block it. And as you're opening up your heart, you're becoming incredibly attractive, not only to a potential lover, but to everyone around you. Pets, children, family members, they all want to come to you and help you and love you and feel your light. Yeah. Okay, group 4. So I'm really happy that I pushed through. I hope that you're taking great care of your health and your throat health especially. Thank you so much for listening. Hit that like button. I said it correctly because for group 3 I made it a mess. Comment down below and let me know if this resonated in any way. I love to read your comments. I honestly love to read them and to see your experiences, to figure out ways in which I can further help you. And yeah, if this has all been said and done, then I cannot wait to see you in my next one. Take good care of your heart. Ciao.